So, I'm sitting here with my esteemed co-host Roxas, who is laying on Grandpa's lap right now, sleeping in a very, I don't know how he's even comfortable. If my hand wasn't there, his head would just be flopping right over the side of my knee. Actually, no, like almost half of his body would. Roxas, you want to say hi to everyone? Come here. So everyone knows that you exist. Oh, big boy. Here's Roxas. There's Roxas. There he is. Mwah. He's just a happy boy. Mwah, 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 mwah. Yeah, you happy boy? What? What's with the face? I love you. Go on. And back onto the knee he goes. So, Indiana Jones. Hasn't been several it hasn't been some good years for Indy. Yeah, he's just he's not the same as he used to be. He's older and well, the Dial of Destiny didn't exactly do well. But of course, it's the fans' fault. It's the fans. Not the fact that this guy got emasculated and talked down to every chance that they got from this woman. Oh no, it's the fans' fault. Indiana Jones director blames fans for the Dial of Destiny's failure. He will direct a Star Wars movie next. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny director James Mangold has blamed the failure of his big budget film on the fans of in a recent interview, completely ignoring, dismissing all valid criticism of the Phoebe Waller-Bridge led film that also featured Harrison Ford. Roxas, what are you doing? Indiana Jones fans the world over turned their noses up to Mangold's film, failing to connect with the movie's deconstruction of one of the greatest heroes of all time. In the movie, Harrison Ford plays Dr. Jones as a broken old man, awash in misery until a snarky brunette female with a British accent comes into his life to show him how inadequate he is. Yeah, yeah, that's not Indiana Jones. That's not to be confused with Star Wars. With the episode. You just read the whole thing and you realize it's the same thing. Uh, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, when Harrison Ford played Han Solo as a broken old man, awash in his misery until a snarky brunette female with a British accent comes into his life to show him how inadequate he is. Yeah, they're one and the same. You know, there is no distinction between Han Solo and Indiana Jones at this point. They're the same person in the same universe, just at separate points in their lives. But according to Mangold, who, by the way, is slated to helm a base which is going to bomb, the film didn't bomb because of the script or characters. It certainly had nothing to do with his creative vision or the numerous reshoots he attacked fans over, claiming falsely that they never took place. No, Indiana Jones director James Mangold instead places blame where it belongs, with the fans, the paying customer, the audience of Indiana Jones fans. You have a wonderful, brilliant actor who's in his 80s. So I'm making a movie about the guy in his 80s. Okay, just because he's in his 80s doesn't mean anything. You know, it's like he can still be active. He doesn't have to be like, I'm a wash up in my life. I wish there was a perky and snarky young brunette here to tell me what to do to get me back on track. Fuck those kids. I hate kids. I hate no. Like what? What are you doing? It's the same thing they did with Luke and Han and Han in the movie. They take these guys and are like, we're old and miserable and we want to be left alone. And then some plucky youngster comes along and this is what they think of old people now? That they need some kind of young person. And Roxas, you're making my leg go numb, bub. Why don't you go out? I think he wants to go out now. No, he's still in here. I was trying to let him out. He's like, no, I just want to lay down. Um, but okay, in his 80s, but his audience on one other level doesn't want to confront their own hero at that age. And I'm like, I'm good with it. We made the movies. The question is, how would anything be made that the audience is happy with? You make a movie about Indiana Jones. You don't get it. You don't make a movie called Indiana Jones and have him emasculated and talked down to by a woman every 5 seconds. That's not Indiana Jones. But we're also in the age of the me dumb man, me not know how to do anything without female creature around. So, um, other than having to start over again with a new guy. And then here come lifelong heroes from my childhood into my life going. We have something for you to work on. It was a joyous experience, but it hurt in the sense that I really love Harrison. I just wanted audience to love him as we was, and to love him the way we was. Loved him as he was, and to accept the part of what the movie had to say. That things come to an end. That's part of life. Yeah, but they don't have to be some like miserable, washed up, like drunk type figure. Why do just because they're old, you don't have to portray them as these grouchy old men who are like, what am I doing with my life anymore? You don't have to do that. You see, apparently fans weren't happy because Indiana Jones was old. And people didn't want to see any old people or something. It might surprise Mangold and many of the higher ups at Lucasfilm, but many times human beings manage to reach their golden years without denigrating or degenerating into sad sack, pathetic waste of space. Many people embrace their life as senior citizens and remain productive members of society who appreciate their lives without the intervention of a stunning and brave, snarky British brunette. The budget, a massive 300, almost 400 million for the budget. Film made, okay, wait, so 387. So it didn't even break even. So because we got 383 and it took 387. So it didn't even break even. So that movie failed horribly. That's production budget, which sounds like it came close to meeting its production budget. That is until you remember the theaters get a cut of the box office take, and Disney ran a massive, yeah, so that's even more. So 300 million, say 300, say 400 million, rounded up, 400 million plus marketing. So we're looking at what, 800 million total that they would have to make, because marketing sometimes is like 200, 300, 400 million. So we'll just go low ball. We'll say like it was 200 million for marketing. So they would still need to make like $600 million in order to make, profit. So Dial of Destiny is one of the biggest bombs and black marks in the history of Lucasfilm, and yet Lucasfilm is reportedly bringing Mangold back to direct a Star Wars film, major Star Wars film in the near future. We can only assume, though, he won't be assuming any of the responsibility himself. I mean, we're really not surprised. This is what happens when you take heroes like Indiana Jones or Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and these great characters, and you're just making them. Oh wait, hang on. For Luke, that's what happens when you ruin good characters for the sake of the strong, powerful woman. They are intentionally making these characters old sacks, sad sacks of shit who need to be led around to empower the females. Like, oh, you men couldn't do absolutely anything without us females around. This world would stop if it wasn't for females telling you men what to do. And they're just like, I don't want to do that. I'm not what I used to be. Yeah, no shit, you're not what you used to be because the writers don't want you to be what you used to be. So, I'm not surprised. No one else is surprised. The movie didn't even come close to breaking even. This is what happens when you put the strong, powerful female trope above everything else. This was Indiana Jones, not Dial of Destiny featuring Indiana Jones. And no one has a problem with strong female characters. Galadriel, by far one of the most badass female characters ever created. But she was genuinely badass. These characters are written specifically to be these boss bitches who tell men what to do, and oh, you men can't do anything without us around, and they're specifically written like that. Where again, you have someone like Galadriel, or any other like Sigourney, pretty much any Sigourney Weaver character, uh, you know, they're genuinely like that. They're not, oh yeah, we're gonna make her as a badass who tells men. No, it's part of her character. They're not going out of their way to intentionally do it. But yeah, Indiana Jones isn't Indiana Jones anymore. Star Wars, they took Han Solo and Luke, two of the most beloved characters, and they turned them to grumpy old men with freaking issues, and Luke's on his own little world by himself, like, what happened to my world? What happened to myself? Get away. I don't want anybody young here. I don't want any happiness in my vicinity. He takes a sip from his thermos, but again, remember, it's always our fault. If they ruin characters and everything, and we don't want to see the movie, it's our fault. If they come out and say, well, if you don't like it, don't see it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's not meant for you. And it fails, it's our fault. It's always our fault. Always. Every single time, whether it be movies or TV shows or comics or video games, if you don't like it, it's because you're just a hater, and it's failed because of you. Not because of the actions of the people producing it, but because of you. Every time. But anyway, let me know if you saw the movie. But that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.